Hi, folks. We're here at the MTMP in Las Vegas. And please let me introduce you to James Bateman. He's the CEO of Settlit, whom we've been working for over a year, creating really good value for our customers. So, pleasure to see you here, James. Pleasure to meet you in person. We'd like to know a little bit about Settlit. How did you start?
Well, first of all, Alonso, thank you so much for having me, and appreciate your partnership over this last year that we've been able to work with you. Um, I'm the CEO and founder at Settlit, and to understand a little bit about where we started, we actually didn't originally start in the legal industry. We started in trying to help individuals share their data with their caregivers because of a personal experience that I had with my father-in-law. Unfortunately, my father-in-law got very ill in 2013. And when we were caring for him at home, it was quite complex. And we had a lot of trouble coordinating all of his health data.
You can imagine.
And in that experience, my mother-in-law, she was able to carry around the binder and get all the medical records and all the information they needed to keep all of the caregivers and everyone aligned. And I looked at that and I thought it was ridiculous. Individuals have the right to access their data. Can't we do this in an electronic and a digital way? And that really, trying to solve that problem is what led us to found Settlit. And how we did that is we looked at the problem of individuals authorizing the organizations they're trying to work with, authorizing them to access that information. And as it turns out, attorneys is an area that people really need to share their health information to get access to care. A lot of attorneys play a role in coordinating people's access to what care journey is important to them, as well as moving on with their life, getting through this difficult time of, settling their case or getting to that next outcome or milestone so they can move on. So trying to solve that problem is what led me to found this company.
Wow. I didn't know that. And thank you for sharing that story. Now, second question is, what do you think what's the role for Setlit in the industry, the master industry?
Right. So access to data electronically has been notoriously difficult for attorneys for a few reasons. But one of the biggest reasons is due to the sensitive nature of this data and the level of compliance that's needed to be managed to allow you to access. So electronic health data has actually been around since 2008, but attorneys have not been able to get access to it. The role that Settlit has played is one where we're working on the national level with policymakers at the state level, at the federal level, advocating that an individual should have the right to share that electronic data with their attorneys, specifically for the legal industry. And we've been really successful in doing that across claims data, lab data, and electronic health record data from major EMR systems. They're really eager to work with attorneys, but they need to have a trusted partner like us to manage the compliance to allow you to have access. And a common misconception is that Setlit data is somehow similar to something like medical record retrieval, and it's not. So when you think about how law firms operate today, they get their data from two main ways. Their intake, which would be interviews and forms that their clients fill out, and their medical record retrieval that lets them go and chase the records they need. What we do is we bring in this electronic data layer, these databases that with the right consent, with the right patient identity verification, with the right compliance infrastructure in place that our platform manages for you, you can just search your clients against these databases. And it's an entirely new data set that actually can't be requested in the traditional way. You can't fax a claims database that's stored in a state repository. There's nowhere to send that fax. It doesn't exist. But once we provide you access to that through our compliant ways, it opens up a brand new data set to you that you never had access to before. So now modern firms that are doing this really well, what they're doing is they're doing intake. And instead of at intake asking the client a bunch of questions, they can just search the provider database and look up all the healthcare providers someone's been to. Actually, coming into this conference at MTMP, we did a study, and over the last 12 months, on average, we find 45 undisclosed doctors per claimant. because, they have vague memories. They don't understand or remember every doctor
Yeah.
they've seen. But we can pull that up, and now you can change the way that you build your case strategy, that you do early validation, that you build up and work up that case. And now when you order medical records using retrieval with your retrieval vendor, so we don't do retrieval, but we give you access to the databases. You find the doctors, you know why they went there, what they went there for. And now you can say, hey, I can order the records from these 3 doctors out of the 45 because these ones, I know they had a visit there, 100% verified. I'm going to find records if I ask for them. And those are really the only ones I need. So now you can control costs, be more efficient. And database searches, they come back instantly. So all of this data you can use right up front and use that to shape your whole strategy.
Yep. That is correct.
Yeah.
Well, and from personal experience, I can attest to that. We've worked for over a year so far. We're very happy with our partnership. Thank you for that. And over these last 12 months, we've managed to get more than hundreds of data information regarding medical attentions for our claimants, and we're building stronger cases for our clients as well. So thank you for that.
Well, yeah, and I appreciate you, your support in the success that you guys have had with the platform.
Awesome. Thank you very much, James.
All right. Thanks, Alonso.
Thank you, folks.